itself issued notices, and then after inquiry, some of the members were disenrolled, and some of the others were suspended. So, like that, the punishments will had to be meted out to some of the miscreants in this profession. So, the importance of professional ethics in the legal profession is very obvious now, because the professional ethics are the standards of conducts, the desirable practices, and to avoid the undesirable practices. Now, the law relating to the ethics regarding the legal profession generally are contained in some of the provisions of the Constitution about the admission and suspension or the removal of lawyers, and Judicature Act, and mainly the Supreme Court rules which were promulgated in 1988 under the provisions of the Constitution, which allows the Supreme Court to make rules. So, according to the rules, the touting is an offence, advertisement in certain categories is an offence. So, like that, there are duties laid down to the courts, to the fellow members of the profession, as well as to the general public. So, like in any other profession, legal profession also is a noble profession, one of the noblest professions. But unfortunately, in recent times, we have seen the deterioration of standards, both moral standards as well as the general standards. So that is due to various other factors, because we cannot single out legal profession, because the deterioration of standards is common to all the other professions, medical or engineering or whatever you call it. So that way, the legal profession is not an exception to the general deterioration. Now, at present times, legal ethics, professional ethics, is a subject in most of the university curricula. As far as the law college is concerned, where I am the principal, I am the lecturer in the professional ethics. That's a subject for the final years. Various other universities, they are still introducing this as a subject, because that was never a subject, and that was not one of the 6 core subjects in the United Kingdom universities, professional ethics. That is a matter for the bar training institutions like the Inns of Court or the College of Law, regarding the admission to the barrister's profession as well as the solicitor's profession in England. But in Sri Lanka, during the early part of the legal education, university education, the law faculty of Ceylon University, that was started in 1947, professional ethics was not taught as a subject. But I think now the law faculty teaches, even now I am told it's not being taught, but only at the Sri Lanka Law College. But every lawyer will have to undergo a training in legal profession. I can cite a good example. Few months ago, the Supreme Court of this country has dealt with a lawyer who has accepted a fee but never appeared in court. So what is the punishment meted out to him? To come back to law college and under my supervision to undergo another training course in professional ethics. I mean, one term he had to follow lectures in professional ethics, which of course was carried out, and now he is again back in practice. So that's I think that's a right punishment for a lawyer who has neglected his professional duties by having accepted the fee and failed to appear in courts. So 3 months he had to follow the professional ethics course at the law college. That was about 6 months ago. So like that, that's a lenient punishment, but there have been cases where the lawyers have been disenrolled and suspended for years and years. And there are other cases where the suspended lawyers or the disenrolled lawyers reapplied for admission, and there again, in the absence of any reparation or any improvement of his moral turpitude, the Supreme Court has refused. So, any student doing studies in a professional way, that like law student or medical student or whatever profession, the minimum standards must be maintained regarding the profession. As far as the law profession is concerned, one has to strictly follow the Supreme Court rules and try to live up to the required standards in regard by his profession. So this is about all I can say for the time being. I'm sure the other speakers will enlighten you more on this topic, and it's my duty to thank Professor Hewitt, who is present here, because we have something in common, because both of us are products of the University of London. I did my LLM in London University in 1975 and 76, and I have followed lectures in the LSE. I still remember its library and the bookshop across the road. Yes, so I'm
still there.
I'm still thanking her to have attended this function. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jayatissa de Costa. As I expected that it was shown in his speech that he is quite competent to talk about the professional ethics of any profession other than the oldest profession in the world. The professional ethics, that applies not only to the legal profession, that applies to each and every profession. And this is not a creation, or this is not a sudden eruption. This is a subject that has been evolved throughout. In fact, that at the beginning of, during the Roman emperor, there was no legal profession like today, but all orators were permitted to appear on behalf of somebody and make their case advantageous for somebody. Later on, that they started learning law. For the first time, it was the Emperor Claudius who legalized the legal profession and permitted to, at the beginning, it was not permitted for any lawyer to charge a fee. Later on, that he made the legislation permitting for the lawyers to charge fees. And thereafter, that appeared as a profession when the French Council in 1231, they promulgated a law. If anybody wants to admit into the legal profession, that there has to be an oath taken. And that was followed by the London papal, it was by a papal legate in London in 1237. After that, this has been evolved throughout with the professional ethics, which is revolved upon the entire gamut of the conduct of a lawyer. At present, that Article 13(3) of our Constitution has recognized that any person who is a party to a litigation, maybe in courts or maybe in a quasi-juristic institution or a person, any party is entitled to have a legal representation. That has been recognized even in Section 41 of the Judicature Act. While recognizing that the legal profession, as to how that the lawyers should conduct themselves is a matter of legal ethics, the subject now we are discussing.